I've watched quite a number of anime, and a few of them really touched me. Violet Evergarden, Blue Period, Hibike Euphonium, Gurren Lagann, just to name a few. I've cried during some moments in those shows, but nothing ever hit me as hard as that single line in Look Back. In fact, I'm writing this in a coffee shop, tearing up from the impact it left on me. That line was,
じゃあ藤野ちゃんはなんで書いてるの？
Look Back, a one-shot by Tatsuki Fujimoto, is about two girls, Fujino and Kyomoto, and their journey to improve their craft in art. Fujino, who was once confident in her skills, is hit hard by the realization that she's not as special as she thought. The realization, the gap between her perception of herself and the reality, is something so many of us face as we grow up and explore more about the world. Despite this, Fujino doesn't shy away from the truth and chooses to take on the challenge and push forward once again, partially thanks to Kyomoto's passion for her work. It's quite obvious that she's at least moved by Kyomoto's excitement to express the love for her past and future works. Kyomoto is really Fujino's fan. And speaking of Kyomoto, at first, I thought Kyomoto's strength was only in her artistic talent, but after rewatching and rereading Look Back, I realized the courage it took for her, a recluse, to leave her comfort zone and reach out to Fujino is also her strength. And that courage reminded me to find something I could have such passion for, with the same drive that Kyomoto had for Fujino's work. The story's plot may seem predictable after they part ways, but the execution itself is where the real magic lies. You can feel how much Fujino blames herself, even though as an outsider, I knew and you knew it wasn't her fault. Kyomoto wouldn't have blamed her either, as Fujino was the one who opened up that world to her in the first place. But those emotional roots, they hit hard. And it's not easy to get over them. It hit Fujino so hard that she stopped creating new chapters for their manga, Shark Cake, blaming herself for everything. Initially, Fujino's recovery from the trauma felt unrealistic, especially with the introduction of the parallel timeline. But as I'm writing this, I see it more as a way to transition into the subtler forms of looking back in the story. But before that, what are the more direct ways the title Look Back connects to the characters' journeys? For Fujino, when she looks back, she sees Kyomoto holding her hand, symbolizing the support she received. For Kyomoto, when she looks back, she sees Fujino trying to stop her from pursuing art at a university, a reminder of their pivotal interaction. This time though, when Fujino looks back, she notices the signed shirt from that fateful day. It reminds her of what kept her going, how Kyomoto placed that signature there to reflect on their bond. Each time Kyomoto looked back during her work, she was reminded of the support Fujino gave her, helping her to step out of her shell. Fujino might even realize Kyomoto wouldn't want to see her give up now. Well, at least that is my way of perceiving it. I really think this further reinforces the idea of looking back, and not just literally, but emotionally. It's a reminder for all of us to look back at what drives us and to keep that close. For me, I hope to look back one day and thank my younger self for grinding, for working on my craft, for making it possible to get to where I am in the future. I'm no artist, but as a creative, I have something I'm fighting for. And Look Back reminded me of that while I was watching it. Look Back is really motivational for me. Well, speaking of motivational content out there, most stuff out there is usually the grind or die type, but Look Back takes a gentler approach, and I really appreciate and grateful for that, because that is such a fresh air for a motivational piece. I know the struggle for artists out there is real, because I have a ton of friends who are working hard trying to make themselves big as an artist, and seeing this story, especially with the artist friends that I've made over the years, makes me put in that extra effort, because I know my work isn't as tough as theirs, and this pushes me to go for the extra mile. To me, Look Back is more than a story. It's a gentle push to find that one thing that's worth fighting for. I want to be able to look back one day, not just at my accomplishments, but at the passion that kept me moving forward. Actually, I've been exhausted recently, pushing myself through the stress of passing probation at work while trying to do all the stuff I do on the side. But in those moments when I feel like giving up, I'm reminded of Fujino, reminded to kakitsukeru, to keep on drawing, keep on creating.